lot of people take a pill or whatever. But now with a type 1 diabetic that my daughter is, she is fully insulin dependent for the rest of her life because she has lost that organ.
Hi, and welcome to Illinois Corn TV. My name is Grace May, and I'm the legislative intern at Illinois Corn this summer. Today, I talked with Brandy Renshaw. Brandy is known as the farmer's daughter. She's a farmer and social media influencer who shares her life and experiences on the farm. We talked about Brandy's personal experiences with both diabetes and schizophrenia, and she shared some valuable advice for all farmers in Illinois. So let's jump into the interview. Okay, so let's jump right into this. As a business owner and a farmer, can you kind of talk about the similarities between those two operations?
Yes. So just like farming, in my boutique, I have to see what works for the season. I have to see what works this year compared to last year, and then try to figure out what is going to be best for next year, right? And each season is different. You have to prepare, you have to get all of your inventory in, which, like, I have inventory at the boutique, but we have to get our seed and we have to get our chemical. We have to get all of that in line for farming to, cultivate through things. It is very similar. And then you're also taking your risks, and you're trying new things. And also area, your area is a big thing, just like farming. So what works in my area for the boutique doesn't necessarily work in other areas. Just like up north, we went up there, beautiful landscape. There's a lot of money. They're making a lot more money than we are, of course. Their area is better for farming. And the same goes for the boutique and business. It depends on your area and what works there. So I may see boutiques that are really booming with the one product, but they're not here. I may not sell not one, but it's what your area is doing. So there's a lot of things that are very similar in just business in general. Farming is a lot of business. Yeah.
So does like knowing how to run one of them kind of help you run the other?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Running a farm prepares you as far as business and market and all of that. It really prepares you for any other type of business. It is all business.
Absolutely. Brandy, not to be corny, but what do you call a farmer's daughter who is really good at braiding hair?
I do not know.
A cornrow specialist.
I knew I had to have something with
Yeah.
cornrow. I was trying to figure that out there.
So your daughter has diabetes, and I know that one of your goals is to have more awareness around that and around that disease. So can you talk a little bit about that and how hard it is on the farm and how you dealt with it?
Right. So she is a type 1 diabetic, which is different than type 2, but now both are very misunderstood, I feel. They are both, it's potentially genetic. I'm a very healthy eater. I am a very healthy person. My last A1C was high. And because my genetics, I may end up as a diabetic, not as a type 1, probably as a type 2. Actually, my mother, I'm almost to the same age that she was diagnosed as a type 2. Like I said, I'm a very healthy person. So the stigma around that being what I find is most misunderstood is that, diabetes just goes hand in hand with, you're unhealthy, or you're not eating right, or what did you do to cause this to yourself? So in my daughter's case, in all type 1, which is that is an autoimmune disease. So my daughter was born with this, or it could have been environmentally something like chemical or anything like that that could have caused this for my daughter. It could have been some of her immunizations, things like that. No one knows the actual cause of a type 1 diabetic. And they're beginning to think genetics play a huge role in that too. So it is an autoimmune disease. It's usually brought on by puberty or changes in the body or a severe illness. So in her case, she had mono and she was 11 years old, and so all of those things played into that. It is a lifelong disease for her. So what happens is her body, her beta cells attacked her pancreas when this was triggered in her. Um, like I said, we never even had soda in our household. So that's not even a thing. But, and I had no idea the difference at that time either and how misunderstood it really is. But basically, she had organ failure. So her pancreas was attacked and killed. It will not grow back. Yes, they do have organ transplants if you are so severe as far as not being able to accept your insulin. If you have, so those people are the people that do end up getting a pancreas transplant. The long term is not very good, so that's not really always a thing. But now my daughter's super healthy. She always has a perfect A1C. She is going to live a long, wonderful life, no doubt. The technology that we have today, she has a little pump that she has to pre-inject her insulin, anything that she eats, and that is for the rest of her life. So where a type 2 diabetic, what that means is that their pancreas doesn't always work correctly, but their pancreas still does work. So a lot of times with overweight people, if they lose weight and they get healthy, then it can reverse that and their pancreas can start working healthy again. A lot of people take a pill or whatever, but now with a type 1 diabetic that my daughter is, she is fully insulin dependent for the rest of her life because she has lost that organ. So that's the difference. And it's very misunderstood and it's very common. Um, More common than what you think. I think that it's just not, people don't talk about it a lot. She is 16. She doesn't want anyone knowing necessarily that she has it because it's very misunderstood and she has had a lot of negative comments as far as you shouldn't be eating that or things like that. So it's hard for a teenager. Teenage years are hard anyway. So for me, I just feel like I feel like I would love for people to be educated on the meaning of that. But yeah, she has her highs and her lows and always has to have snacks with her and whatever. She is very much hands-on on the farm. She drives every piece of equipment, never had an issue. She's definitely a warrior. Yeah, so she tackles
It's
it
good to
well.
hear. Yeah. I mean, even I just learned something just hearing you talk about it. And my family has a history of diabetics too. And I've been pre-diabetic since I was 9 years old. So I kind of more of the type 2 side, but I understand that struggle there
Right,
and the stigmas
right, which
around
is
it.
is absolutely, yeah, absolutely
Mhm.
hereditary too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
well, it's good learning about, you don't hear a lot about it very often, but it's nice to learn more. So yeah. This has been another episode of Illinois Corn TV. Stay tuned for more content every week and be sure to subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next week.